Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you subway tiles, or metro tiles as we often say in the UK. I'll show you how I easily install them in this bathroom for a great finish. We're all feeling a pinch at the moment, and there is no way why you can't create a designer bathroom on a budget with these tiles. And if you do it yourself, then even better. You can pick a box up for £10, euro, dollar a metre, which makes them one of the best budget tiles still used today. They are generally ceramic for the cheaper ones, which makes them a great DIY or beginner tile. They are small, easy to cut, and being ceramic, they adhere to most surfaces very well. You can use ready mix adhesive and they don't need too much fault compared to other tiles. You can lay them in various different patterns like this, herringbone, soldiers or brick bond, which we'll be using today. So a perfect choice whether on a budget or just wanting that classic look. For me, I love it when I'm using metro tiles compared to the 20 kilogram porcelain tiles I'm usually fixing. I can get out my tiny little cutter and using bucket glue, it brings me back to the simple days when I first started tiling. And that's why I think this is a perfect simple bathroom to show you for stunning results. So in this video, I'm going to show you how it's done to simply create a designer bathroom with these tiles. So saying that, let's get into this guide and I'll show you how it's done. Make sure you stick around as there will be in-depth cutting and tile trim work throughout the video. Right, first things first, the setting out. As I always say, take a look around the room first to identify areas that are going to visually impact the look of your tiles. The ceiling, the bath, shower tray, the floor, windows, etc. For me here, the first thing I'm drawn to is a sloping ceiling, or Skeilling as it's called. If I can get a full tile to finish off of that, that will look best. For the windows, I'd like a full tile if possible running through the bottom of them. And with small tiles coming off the bath or shower tray is always better with a bigger bit of tile than a tiny sliver. So a few things for me to check out there. This is the floor tile, which again, you can really bring that designer look alongside a simple wall tile with a nice pattern floor tile as a feature. These are quite popular and available in many different styles and colours these days. Right guys, with some 2mm spacers, lay some tiles out on the floor. Using your tape, you can take some measurements and start going around the room and seeing how things work out. These will be laid in that classic brick bond fashion. So horizontally is pretty easy to set out. Generally, you'd centre the main feature wall, then either centre the other walls or take a 4.5 from the sides of one of the other walls. Just making sure it works so it looks like the tile is wrapping around the wall when they meet. So I'm concentrating more on the vertical set out first. As I've never seen a level Skeilling in my whole 20-year tiling career, here I am just marking a line from the lowest point across. Then I'm prepared to chop into it so it's level if it works with a full tile. This will look a lot nicer than trying to cut to it pissed. Baths and shower trays aren't always level, so always check these things first. Measuring down from the line I just drew, it roughly works out a full tile on the bath, which would be great. So now I'm going to go around the room and measure a bit more accurately. I can just keep going back to my tiles on the floor to see how big the cut's going to be in specific areas. I'm not that bothered about how it works on the floor, as that's going to be boarded and tiled, so the cut will change by the time that is done. The bath is quite bowed, so I will take a full tile from the lowest point and mark up from there. This way it's better to chop the other tiles down than have a gap in areas around the bath. For the bath tiles where it gets high, we'll probably have about 5mm shaved off of them. This still gives me a full tile to the top of the Skeilling and a full tile running through the windows. The ceiling is a bit out of level with a small cut, but I'll sacrifice that for how well everything else sets out. Okay, so I've drawn my height line around the room now, which is about 9 tiles from the bath, I believe. Now I'm just going to mark my centre line of this main bath wall, and I'll be starting a 4.5 tile from the centre, as it's brick bond. I will just double check the tiles both ways to make sure there is no silly cuts to the corner. The other walls I will set out later to what works out best into the tiles from this wall. And that is the setting out done. Next, as these are plastered walls, will be the priming. This is an SBR Primer. As these are plastered walls, I need to prime them with a tile primer. This will stop the adhesive going off too fast and clear the dust to get a better bond. Never use PVA, that is different to SBR Primer and has counter effects. This one is diluted 1 part to 3 parts water. Then I just apply it over the walls with a sponge or a brush, allowing to dry. It's good to point out, if you are tiling in a wet area like a shower, it's best to waterproof your walls with a tanking kit first if it's on plaster or plasterboard. In this bathroom, it's mainly being used in a bath, so it's not specified, and along with the waterproof adhesive it will be fine for what it is. But if it is your main shower, I'd recommend waterproofing just as a reassurance. In an ideal world, tiling on backer boards is the best, as they have all the qualities you need already in them, but sometimes that is not possible for budgets and building constraints, etc. Just note, if you are tiling on backer board, you will need to use a powder adhesive. Okay, so I'm loading up my 8mm notch trowel here with my ready mixed adhesive and just applying it to the walls, making sure I'm using the full notches of the trowel. When it scrapes, you know you are. I will leave the lines visible as much as possible, and when I've got a fair amount of adhesive on the wall, I'll start trailing in the same direction to help the adhesive collapse when a tile is applied to get a better bond. I will spread the whole section, which is 9 tiles worth, and be working down from the line to the bath. And you can see there the angle that I'm holding the trowel at to get the full use of the notches. So I'm placing my top course of tiles here. I'm starting either side of the line. You can start centre of the line if it works better for you on something. For me, it makes no difference with this one. I'll just push the tile into the adhesive and give it a wiggle and move on to the next one. I'm just getting them roughly straight at this point. When I have a few up, I'll use my level to level them up and add the spacers. With tile adhesives these days, like the Profix waterproof I'm using here, once you push the tile, it won't really go anywhere. These ceramic tiles have so much suction that they grip pretty quickly. In tiling, we always work from a level line down as much as possible. Only exception is with heavy tiles where we will put the bottom course in first and work up. The best way I can show you here how to mark a tile for a cut is with an arrow. You mark the tile on the opposite side that you want it to go, then once it's flipped, you can see with the arrow which way it will go. It's important as you want the rough edge going into the wall. If you imagine this tile was an off cut, the good edge would be touching the wall in this scenario. You can also mark with a tape measure, but tilers do it this way as it's a lot quicker. I always mark loose when not cutting to another tile, allow a few millimeters as it will be covered by the tile on the next wall. When you have a few cuts to do, you can check if they're all the same. Set a gauge on your cutter and then run a batch off to speed up the process. On the left side here, you can see I'm using the tile to mark the big bit and the small bit out of the same tile. Okay, so now I've got a few rows up. I'll put my level on top, push them around a bit, add some spacers to get everything perfect. Then I can just fill the rest in from there. Spend a bit of time here making sure everything is good, as this, for one, determines your bathroom's tile levels going around the room, and two, life is easy from here out as you can just place tiles on top knowing that you are level. For the bath cuts, it's the same principle. You mark them on the reverse, then you're flipping them over so the rough edge is facing the bath. As my bath has a bow, I'm marking 2 marks, scribing them on my cutter, then using my tile pinchers to remove the 5mm piece off the tile. I can then smooth any roughness up with my sanding block. Now the bottom half is complete, I can spread and start tiling up to finish the rest of the wall. It's good to mention the tools I have around me when doing this: a pair of tile pinchers, a pen, a tape measure, a rubbing block, a knife and a sponge, and a bucket of water. All these things come in handy and always good to have close to you when you're tiling. Now I'm at the top, I can draw an accurate line of how much of the skeeling I need to remove to fit the tiles in nice and level. I use my laser here, but you can just draw a level line. I will use my multi-tool here just to remove all the out of level plaster along that line. And there we go. That's how you sort out a piss skeeling. Great. So that's the basics covered for tiling a wall. Now I'll show you a couple of other methods so you have the confidence and know-how to create your own results. So the next wall, 2 options: either center it like the first or take a full and a half tile off the edge, as this is the end of the wall. The second is the most common option. So I'll measure with the tiles back to make sure it works out good, and whether to start with a half or a full tile on that line to make sure the tiles look like they are wrapping around the corner. If things work out bad, you can either center the wall or start with the offcut that would have made up the full tile on your previous wall. So it's basically a complete tile. Starting with my half tile, same as the first wall, I'll now just go along and fill it in. For the pipes, just mark the tile with 2 marks around them, height and width, to give yourself a box guide for your hole cutter. I've got a video on these hole cutting bits, but they are super good. They just screw on your angle grinder and away you go. They cut through ceramic tiles like butter. Use a bit of water if you're cutting holes through porcelain, but no need with these. Same as before, I now level them up and add the spacers. Next, I'm going to show you how to quickly and easily cut Skeiling cuts. So the first mark is for the bottom angle and the second mark is for the top angle. I'm holding the tile in line and allowing for a grout joint. And same as the other cuts, you are flipping the tile. It's one of those things that looks confusing at first, but I'll show you a few times from different angles and it's a lot easier than it looks. And to cut them off, as they are ceramic, you can either score them and snap them with your hands or just use tile pinchers. I'll show you both methods. So for the second one here, I've just scored it on my tile cutter and I'll just pull it apart with my hands like so. Transferring the mark there from the back of the tile to the front. And for this one, I'll score it and use my pinchers. So for this one, it's slightly different as the tile doesn't go to the end. So we'll mark where my tile would finish, then mark down from the Skeiling to that point. The top mark is the same method as the rest. And that's your angle. And then score and pinch. Okay, great. I hope that made sense. We'll have a little clean and then we'll move on to the windows. With the window wall, I centered it in the end after checking it a few ways. That gave me the best cuts of wrapping into the bar full tiles and going around the windows. Remember to always check whether to start with a half or a full tile from the centre to wrap to your existing tile. You'll see I'm starting a line down. This is because I want to leave the window row to do as one piece as it involves trim work. There will be black metal tile trim going around the windows. This will give the tiles a nice design look to go with the black fittings that are going into this bathroom. I will be reversing the trim so you don't see the fat edge straight on. Again, for more of a designer finish. This means that my tiles need to overlap all sides of the window, then my trim just slots in. So let's finish this wall and I'll show you how. First thing I'll do is check the pillars for level and take that into account for my window cuts. I'll put some level lines around and a line up to stay in alignment for tiling around the windows. Trim order will be bottom, top, sides. So I'll tile the bottom course and the side ends to be able to insert the bottom trim first. I use a tile against the inner side as a gauge to mark how much I need to overlap my face tiles. I will then cut a batch off of about 6 tiles of each cut so I have piles of cuts ready to go for speed and then I label them. I would tile a few rows and then that enables me to mark and be able to put the bottom trim in. And just to mention, I'll be using an 8mm trim to keep it as small as possible, which still covers the tile. So I'm marking the cut, setting a gauge in my cutter, run them off, then I've got a pile for the rest of the window. Then I know all my cuts are identical going up, so I shouldn't go out of alignment. Now I've got some sides, I can mark and cut with my angle grinder my bottom trims. Just mark the trim with the tape and cut it straight off. You can also just use a rubbing block to sand down any sharp edges on the trim. I add some extra adhesive and then they can be slotted in. If you want your tile trim fat edge facing, you would just cut your tiles to the window frame here and place the trim on top. But for me, this is more of a designer way to finish trim how it is here. And you can see there how the inner tiles will sit. Now I'll just continue working up the window using my piles of cuts. This will allow me to get the top trim in and then I can do the side trims. I just check for level as I go to make sure everything's in alignment. Top of the window, it's a couple of L cuts on the side. I set the gauge on the cutter so all the top cuts are all the same running through both of the windows here. Once the top is done, I mark the top trim and place her in, then both the side trims can go in. Then that is that window trimming complete. Make sure to remove any adhesive on the inside, then you can just fill in the inner tiles at your own leisure. Now I just need to complete the same process on the right window in the same way we have just done everything here. Just to show you an L cut here, you scribe both your marks, you angle grind the shortest edge, and then you can just pinch it out, just like that. One more bit of trim to go. Don't panic if your adhesive sets before you can slide the trim in. Like I'll show you here with this one, you can cut the back off the trim and it will still go in fine. I'm just going to tile the walls on the left first and then I'll come back and do the trim and the window internals after. Right, a nice simple straightforward wall here. I just centered it so it's the same as the bath wall. Started either side of my line as that worked best for the wrapping tiles in the corners. Then same as always, tiled from the line down to the floor. Then I just cruised up to the ceiling. You can see here the added bonus of these tiles with their various shades of white really adds to a nice contrast to the walls. For this trim, cut it to size as normal, gauge how much needs to come off for it to slot in, then I'll just grind that amount off, which is about 5mm in this case. Be very careful of your fingers if you're doing this yourself and make sure you take the right safety precautions. I do this day in, day out, so I'm a bit more careless. And there we go. I'll just add some adhesive and that's all looking good. Generally, you'd keep with the full half tile theme here if it works. So I'll check and see which way to start to make sure it looks like the tile is wrapping around the corner. You can work from the bottom up or from the midway down. I'm going to work from my midline and work down to the sill. Then I'll go up and do the top. I'll add some adhesive to that bit of trim and then I'll tape it into place. As there is going to be a lot of cuts again, it's good to batch cut to make it less tedious. I'll mark my long piece and then gauge and cut off a load of halves so I can keep momentum. 2 windows is very tedious, but luckily most bathrooms only have one, so it will be a lot quicker in most. I'm double spreading here as that gets my tile to where I need them. Wedges and packers are very handy if you need to prop up or hold stuff into place when doing fiddly bits like this. And from here, it's really just repeat the process until all the side internals are done, and then just do the tops and bottoms the same way. But the final finish already is looking really great, and this is an amazing transformation with these budget metro tiles, giving a high-end designer finish. And there we go. That is all the walls done. A low-cost tile with a quality modern finish. Using a grey or a dark grout will really set these off. And once paired with these floor tiles or a decorative vinyl, you have one pretty bathroom. All these tiles come in various different colours and sizes, so you can put your own stamp on your own design. If you're thinking about herringbone, I have a video on that too, which you can check out. I hope you learned some tips and tricks in this guide, and my methods will help you with your bathrooms, guys. Any questions, just ask in the comments. Take care, and I'll catch you in the next one.